Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
What up, everybody? We are here. Cody, we are not watching Temple of Doom, but we are here to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though technically Temple of Doom is chronologically the first one. So maybe we should switch. Maybe we should switch right now and watch Maggie's favorite movie of all time, Temple of Doom. No? Okay. We're going to watch Raiders.
I would say I would literally go.
It would just be me and Cody. Small crew today, just the four of us, but a lovely crew nonetheless. Cody, how you doing? Your thoughts on the movie?
Raiders, I think this is like the Back to the Future, and this was like the two trilogies. Like there are Star Wars and everybody, but these were the two that I really loved when I was growing up. So I'm really excited to watch Raiders. It's been a little bit, so I will have to watch Temple after this, and I will have to watch Last Crusade. That's where it's going to go from here. But I'm really excited. That fourth one doesn't happen, so I don't believe in that universe.
Yeah. Robert, your thoughts on the film? And when was the first time you saw it?
I like this movie a hell of a lot. The first time I saw it was 2017. I think it was when it was still in Fandom. Is when I saw this movie for the first time. So recently-ish, but I've seen it a number of times since then, and I actually like this movie a lot. I love the old swashbuckling adventure kind of story. I think the pace of this movie is really great. Yeah, Harrison Ford is a very good leading man action hero.
That is true. Maggie.
Yeah.
First time you saw this was in the theater, right?
No.
Really? Wasn't it when we saw it in the theater? You saw it before that? You fiend. Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, there was a weekend that it was on TV, and I taped all four of them, and I watched all four. No, I didn't watch the third one. I watched 1, 2, and 4. Back in the day when I was in high school, before I knew what was happening. And I don't really remember anything about it, if I'm being completely honest.
About this movie?
There's Nazis, and there's a thing at the end where he and then they all become ghosts. And that's how it ends. So spoilers.
Was that the last time you saw this movie? When you...
The last time I saw this movie was when me and Tim watched it in theaters, in 2015 or 16.
Oh, wow. So it's been a hot minute, yeah.
So it's been a while. So we'll see. I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan, really, at all. So we'll see if I like it more after we watch.
I love this movie. I watched it a lot on VHS as a child. Last Crusade still holds the place in my heart as my favorite, but this is a very close second. The movie's awesome. It's so much fun from beginning to end. Yeah, let's get into it. We're going to all queued up at 0. Yes, okay, and we're going to press play in 3, 2, 1, play. We are there.
Oh, yeah.
A Paramount picture. No, just the way they introduce Indy and everything is it's so good.
The score in this movie is awesome, too.
Yeah. That as well. I should probably turn on the subtitles. A Steven film.
I always forget that he
made this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his pillars. It's crazy. Just to think what he has done.
Yeah, he went on just the most wild of runs from 75 to 90.
Yeah. Or even 93? 94?
90, yeah, through 93. I think that wasn't Hook 94 or was Hook 95?
Hook was 91.
Was Hook before? But Hook was before Jurassic Park? You might be right.
I believe
this
so.
before Jurassic Park?
Yeah, you're right.
No.
This is 10 years before Dread, 12 years before 11. Final answer.
12.
Yeah, so yeah,
12. It
most people
was
don't.
12.
81 to 90.
Hook is people like it or love or hate it. I love it, but like just to think with all of that and then 94, and I mean he didn't really slow down for a while.
Yeah,
He's only started to slow down in the 2010s, I'd say.
If at all. I mean, he's still releasing.
He's still. I mean, he's not making like blockbuster after
Terminal,
blockbuster like a year after each other, but like
Terminal War of the World maybe. Hook is 91, sir, on
like,
IMDb. Jake Marangoni, you're wrong, and you lose 2 points.
Didn't he
I like
he like 2 or 3 movies in 05? Like,
I think Terminal was 04.
Terminal was 04. War of the World was 05.
Oh no, he did. Sorry, I don't know why I thought he did Munich.
He did do Munich. Munich is also 05.
Okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. He did War of the Worlds in Munich in the same year. Yeah, okay.
All of his movies are way too long. Is this movie also way too long?
It's under 2 hours.
Okay, so we're probably a bit there.
Nothing's more impressive than his 93 year, though.
Yeah.
You gave this a 3?
On Letterboxd? That sounds about right.
But why?
That's gross.
It's disrespectful.
You see that time, that date, and the where it came up? That's a Koho question in Fandom round in season 1, if I've ever seen it.
I mean, I think part of my problem with this movie, like with many movies that were revolutionary in a genre, is that I didn't see them until very late.
Right.
And so I'd seen all of the tropes that are in this movie that it was original to this movie that I already was like over it because I'd seen it.
Plus the hype level, like if somebody told me to watch Raiders and the first time ever I saw it was like this year, I'd be like, okay. And Lucas, Schindler's List is not too long. It's too sad. Just gonna be honest with you.
Munich is too long.
Munich was too long.
And Empire of the Sun way too long.
Don't. Paul Yama's gonna cry.
I feel like those aren't really like this like they're not really like, I don't know. I think that was like a different. He wasn't. Oh, let me restart that sentence because I've done it 6 times now. I do that all the time, and I catch myself doing it. And I feel so bad. I haven't seen Empire of the Sun. I don't really know what it's about, but I know like Munich isn't really like a. It's not really like a blockbuster, right? Like
no,
it's just.
Yeah, so like I understand why those are like a little bit longer. Like I don't know what Empire of the Sun's about, but like whereas like this movie or a E.T. or a Jurassic Park, like I understand why those like are a little bit shorter.
Yeah. It's just like it's so weird. Like directors like this, try to play in different sandboxes and they don't succeed. But like him and like Scorsese and stuff can like go into different areas and still like pull off great films. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember when he made The Big Fucking Guy.
Cool. Classic.
Hey, do you remember when we saw The Big Fucking Guy together in theaters?
I do remember that. It was not good.
Not a good movie.
Tim, that was your worst nightmare.
I know it was.
That just occurred right there.
Spielberg has 2 type of movies: blockbusters and Oscar bait.
Look at all them spiders. Ooh, yum.
It's just a few spiders. It's fine.
Katie's upset with your Empire of the Sun comment.
I'm sorry, Katie. I didn't like it.
She fell asleep. She slept for like 45 minutes once they got into the camp. She was fucking out.
Which camp? There were like 3.
the main one. The one they were in for the longest time.
I absolutely love Empire of the Sun. I think it's great.
You love Empire of the Sun? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's not like I think it'd be top 10, but not like top like Paul Oyama. It's a favorite.
It was just also an interesting choice of a story to tell. But that's okay. It's a conversation for a different time. It's true.
Jake's just here to give me a hard time tonight because I watched one of his favorite movies and it was trash.
Eraserhead.
Oh, yeah. That's the most un-Cody movie I've ever seen in my life.
I've only seen one David Lynch movie, and it was fine.
Dude, I need to be tripping balls like the Eraserhead, and I can't do drugs. Nope.
Oh, this is the thing right at the beginning.
This is the thing right at the beginning
Where he
when
does
we're
the thing.
Yes,
It's a meme.
it is the thing right at the beginning because we're at the beginning of the movie. You're so cute. Oh my god. Ah!
But this is the whole thing. Like, all of this where, like, they have to get through all these traps or whatever. Like, before I'd seen this movie, I'd seen National Treasure. I had seen, like, all these other movies that just, like, do this a million times.
That was also the biggest problem with.
Unimpressed.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm just.
No, I was gonna say like that kind of thing where like it was so game changing in its genre, and then like you watch all the things it influenced, and they like are better than it because you see the original so much later. That's what The Matrix was for me.
Sure. I still haven't seen The Matrix. So.
I saw The Matrix so much later.
Ford,
yeah.
Harrison Ford should have just took this guy out so he didn't become Dr. Octavius later. So,
well,
he dies though in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I know.
He's so little.
Thanks for ruining it.
I didn't realize this was a spoiler-free.
I already said they also, so I don't know what you expect.
We can't invite them to nothing. How much you know that's enough sand? Huh.
Well, that's like one thing that I really do like about the Indiana Jones character is like he's an archaeologist and he's an adventurer, but he's not very good. Like he's sort of like the everyman. Like he kind of fucks up a lot, and he's not like great at his job. Like he just messed up.
It's like a Big Bang Theory thing.
Oh yeah,
with this
that
movie.
is. There's a whole episode on the Big Bang Theory where Sheldon shows Amy Raiders for the first time, and it ends, and he says, "Did you love it? Did you love it? Was it amazing?" And she goes, "Yeah, it was good, but Indiana Jones plays no part in the story." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Literally, if he wasn't there, the same thing would happen. They would still get the ark at the end, they would still open it, and they would all die. Like, literally, if you take him out of the movie, everything that happens still happens." And they're sitting there, and they're like,
if anything, he led them to the ark, because they wouldn't have found out that there was the.
They addressed that.
No, so actually I wasn't thinking there. I think you're probably right because like they would have gotten the headpiece from Marion.
Yep.
Like for sure. See, there he is. He's dead.
Oh, he's dead now.
So I want to address a couple things.
Or is he? Because he becomes Dr. Octavius later. I'm just saying he's faking his death.
Right. He's revived or.
We are coming up on the 10-minute mark. I just had someone message and ask where we were, so in case we are coming up.
We're at 9:40, 41, 42.
Yep. 45. So coming up at the 10-minute mark. Maggie, Andrew Barr says The Matrix is overrated.
I agree.
Cody and Robert straight up third wheeling. How do we know they're not together and me and Maggie are together?
Yeah, Lucas, why you gotta be so judgmental? Sorry, Cody and I are separated by a pandemic right now. If we could be in each other's arms right now, we probably would be.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Have some respect. Plus, coming from the guy that has an MMA fighter as his YouTube profile picture, you need some help, Lucas.
It's almost worse than having like Batman or Kylo Ren. No? Okay. Thought I could get in with that one.
Shots!
If only you spoke Jovitos. When was the last time I saw it? I don't remember when the last time I saw this one. Probably February or March. This guy, I think, is played by one of the producers on the movie, or like one of the executive producers who works with Spielberg and Lucas a lot. I need to look up his name. But I think he's like an important person.
That guy?
Yeah, the pilot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the producer on this movie, Temple of Doom, Color Purple, Back to the Future, Empire of the Sun, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, bunch of other shit.
You know what's a great another year for Spielberg?
2015.
2002.
Oh.
Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can was 2000.
Why are you challenging me when I'm looking right at it?
Are you?
Yeah.
You might be right. All right, you're right. My bad. Honestly, I might take. I mean, I haven't. Yeah, I might take that.
You haven't seen Catch Me If You Can?
No. I was saying. Oh. I was correcting myself from something I was about to say. I have not seen Schindler's List, is what I was going to say.
Oh wow.
But, like I love Minority Report and I love Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can is so good.
It's one of my favorite Spielbergs.
It honestly might be my favorite. It depends on the day. It's definitely up there though. Yep, the Post vying for number one. Yeah.
Was it okay? Am I crazy, or did BFG and Bridge of Spies come out in the same year?
They did.
2015 was a rocker.
No, 2015, 2016.
Oh, BFG was 2016. You're right. No, you're totally right. You're right.
It was November.
So it was
summer.
within
summer. BFG was summer. Because BFG was one of our summer movies, mate. One of our Friday movies in summer of 2016.
And then The Post was 17, and that was December, and then Ready Player One was March.
Of 18. Yeah.
Just love. Oh.
Me and Indiana Jones have something in common. We both hate snakes. That's when the comparison stops.
That's pretty weird. That's fucking creepy. I'm sorry. Writing a message on your eyelids to the teacher. Like, there are so many different ways. Like, I know this was 1981, but like, you can't like anonymously like tweet at him or leave something on a Reddit thread. Like, instead you gotta like make sure he sees that. What happens when you like blink at your dad or like some like random person in the hallway? Like, you gotta blink eventually. I'm just going down the rabbit hole of what happens when this person closes their eyes for the rest of the day.
He's crazy. She's hot though, so it makes sense.
Does that excuse it?
I mean,
she's definitely crazy. She's definitely crazy.
Is he still hot now as an old man?
It depends.
What about when he wears his earring?
No.
Who?
But like in The Fugitive, it was amazing how when he shaved his beard
and switched the samples.
You find this man.
He looked 20 years younger and basically like.
So I watched a movie with Harrison Ford in it yesterday, and someone had mentioned it to me before, but I never realized it until I watched it yesterday. I rewatched Rise of Skywalker, and the scene with Harrison Ford, spoiler alert, he has a beard. Like, he didn't shave his stubble. So, like, he definitely, like, has, like, a beard in the scene. And I'm like, Han Solo didn't have a beard. What the fuck? But that's neither here nor there.
These two guys are also played by, like, important people, too. One of them is William Hootkins.
William Hootkins.
Yeah, that's the guy on the left. The guy on the right is somebody, too. I can't think of who it is right now. Oh, it's Don Fellows. He's in a shit ton of these movies, too. Like, he's in all these. He's in, like, Superman 2. He's in, like, a lot of, like, 80s stuff.
Katie brings up a good point. How often did his class have a substitute teacher?
Too often for him to be tenured.
But the
true.
university is okay with him going on adventures.
That's true.
Do you think that he donates like
Well, he
money
donated.
or something?
Probably pays.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be able to go on these quests if the university wasn't paying.
All the side quests.
It's true. Remember when they asked
Mr. Jones, we're gonna need you to start taking your trips during the summer, or you're just not gonna be employed here. Why does he need a teaching job? Like, why does he need a job? Like, he's gonna
Is
like
he-
numerous ex-wives and
I haven't seen Crystal Skull in like 5 or 6 years. Does he still teach in that movie?
There's actually there's like a joke in that movie. Where he introduces himself to Shia LaBeouf as like a teacher, as like a professor or whatever, and then like they get into this fight with like these Native Americans, and he like kicks their asses, and Shia LaBeouf goes, "You're a teacher?" And he goes, "Part-time."
Yeah, it wasn't like
Yeah.
So,
I
fun-
don't remember if yes, he definitely still is a teacher. Because he's at the college where there's like a statue of Brody and stuff like. He gets fired. Now that I'm thinking about it, he gets fired in that movie.
I couldn't tell. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it since probably like 2014 or 15.
He gets fired because it's suspected that he's like working with the Russians as a spy.
The Russians that blew him up in that fridge.
Yeah, those ones. The very same.
How do you think Mark Hamill felt when they went to shoot Return of the Jedi and Harrison Ford showed up and Harrison was like, "Mark, how have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, great. Pretty cool that George asked you to go do this Indiana Jones thing. Kind of worked out for it." He's like, "Yeah, we're going to do another one later this year." And he's like, interesting. Where's my part, George? Do you think that happened?
Hopefully.
sure, has to.
Mark was also having babies and
So?
doing that with his life.
It is just so strange how, like, so much more famous Harrison Ford is than all of the rest of that cast. I'd say, like, the second close, like, at least from, like, the 80s and the 90s, like, Billy D. Williams was more famous in the 80s than Mark Hamill.
Harrison Ford went on a crazy stupid run though, like late 70s, early 80s. Like not just with Indiana Jones and Star Wars, but like he was in Apocalypse Now, and he was killing it.
That was before.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like late 70s, early. It was after A New Hope.
It was after. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't know like when in his life they shot it, but like it came out after New Hope.
Well, he just had a passion for it, I guess. He didn't do the drugs aggressively like some people.
Apparently he was like I was watching a video about him like a few months ago, and apparently he was like a massive weed dealer to everybody on the set of Star Wars. Like I don't know if that's true or not, but I hope it is.
He was just acting like his character from American Graffiti.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him being in that movie, and I just watched it recently.
Yes.
Yeah. So Star Wars, Apocalypse Now, Raiders, Empire, Blade Runner, Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom, Witness, The Mosquito Coast.
General.
The Call of the Wild.
Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues.
By far the most attractive person in that cast. So that
In which cast?
Star Wars. That definitely has something to do with it when people are casting. And people are attached to actors. Is he a Nazi?
I think in the third one but not like the whole time.
Don't toss it up like that.
Well, he did. Pan American.
That's another question. What's the name of the?
Does that airline even exist anymore?
Pan Am?
Oh.
That's what Pan American means.
Not that promo. That's a Nazi. You can tell.
By his hat and his.
And his glasses, and his blue eyes. His Aryan eyes.
Will travel by map. Kermit. We travel by map.
Nepal.
This scene is awesome.
What's in Nepal? Who? Guy?
Oh.
It's a lot of shots.
Maggie would not be good at this game.
I would be bad at this game. I would be. You would
Bring
be pumping.
it on.
If I had done that many shots, you'd be pumping my stomach.
I've done that before, but we didn't bet on it, and I think we should have. It wasn't until we fell over those until one of us threw up or quit.
Yikes.
Yeah. It wasn't a good night.
Same.
It's him. I feel like when that was us when we were playing Lord of the Rings Trivia Pursuit. It was like 2:30, and I was just like, man, we just gotta be done.
Katie would never win at this game. We'll just fill your shot glasses with apple juice, Katie, and you'll be golden.
That's cheating.
That shot is so good.
After the dog, Maggie.
We named the dog Indiana.
Hey, Cody, what's Sean Connery's name in Last Crusade?
I've never been so angry at myself.
Do you know what his real name is?
No.
It's dumb, is what it is.
Why is it dumb?
It's not. It's not.
Isn't it just Henry Jones Jr.?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Henry Jones Jr.
Junior.
Junior.
So why did he call himself Indiana?
We named the dog.
He didn't want to be named after his dad.
That's a stupid name to pick.
We named the dog Indiana.
The dog got the better name.
Do you know what 1993 sports movie also starred Karen Allen? A revolutionary
What?
film of my childhood. 1993 sports movie.
No.
A League of Their
the,
Own.
The Sandlot. She's the mom in The Sandlot.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. The more information you know about The Sandlot, the better, in my opinion. That's been my experience in life.
Sure. We'll go with that.
She's by far the best female character in these movies.
Oh, easily. Easily.
Winnie.
Crowbar.
Oh, yeah, Willie's the fucking worst. I hate her.
That whole movie, she's so obnoxious.
Isn't she sleeping with somebody? That's what
She's with Steven Spielberg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got married after that movie came out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if they're still together, but they were Kate Capshaw and Steven Spielberg were definitely married.
Oh shit.
Look at that Nazi.
They got married in 1991, and they are still together.
Oh, man. What year did that movie come out? 84?
84. It's a long time of dating. That's fair. Did you know the actor who plays this guy right here, actually George Lucas?
That's George Lucas?
No.
I like it when his face melts.
That's true.
He almost looks like Wallace Shawn, but isn't Wallace Shawn.
He's like a C- Wallace Shaw. If Wallace Shawn was, instead of written in Times New Roman, if it was written in Algeri or something like a different font.
So she was the daughter of the guy that he was looking for?
Yes.
Why did she refer to him by his first name?
Abner? How often do you call our father Kevin?
That's weird.
The weirdest part is between her and Indy have a really sweet relationship. Except that their ages are crazy different.
Welcome to Hollywood.
No, I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking about in canon. He was 21 when they started seeing each other, and she was 14.
It's like Don Johnson.
Alright.
All right. Okay.
Indy's like, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Say, I'm not sure that that's how shooting wood works.
This movie's rated PG.
Wasn't it Temple of Doom that created PG-13?
It was like Temple of Doom and Goonies kind of together.
They would have created this. Would have been rated PG-13 if it existed at the time.
Correct.
If that rating existed in 1981, yeah. That is probably true.
A man was just on fire. That's definitely true.
Well, and was shot and blood splattered all over his face.
And like you look at what happened to Alfred Molina's character at the start, where he was just like fucking impaled.
Yeah, very bloody.
Oh, they're drinking Johnny Walker Black in 1940s.
Good taste. They have good taste at this bar in Nepal in the 30s.
I always love it when shit like that happens. Like in Black Panther, when I think it's Nakia goes to the bar and she goes, I'll have a whiskey, and they pour her a Jack Daniels. So I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I just find that so annoying. Like, I don't know if that happens in other places that are not Wisconsin, but like, I can't imagine walking into a bar and just like, yeah, I'll have a beer. Or like, yeah, pour me some whiskey. Like, the fact that you don't specify, I feel like that just doesn't happen at any bar I've ever been to.
I watched X-Men yesterday, and when Logan goes to the bar when he first meets Rogue or whatever, he literally sits down and goes, I'll have a beer. And it's like, I would just give him the cheapest beer you have at that point.
Just give him some hams, he'll be alright.
Yeah. Let's continue to travel by map.
We'll travel by map! How are we going to get all the way to Paris? How did you get here in time? We traveled by map. Thought it'd be faster.
Oh. You can't drive to Paris, Walter. Yeah, it's way too far. How tall he is. This scruff on his face. Maggie's just like drooling at the sight of Harrison Ford. Man, all these people must be really short. They're standing next to a dwarf.
Actually, he's the tallest member of the Fellowship.
Actually, he is the tallest member in the cast of the Lord of the Rings. Look at all the heights of the people in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He is one of the tallest, if not the tallest.
It's very interesting because it made filming him as a scale double very difficult because he often had to be on his knees and very heavy prosthetics and armor and weapons. It's very fascinating stuff.
He's in the third one too, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, he's in 1 and 3.
So the second one is a prequel. Comes before this.
Yeah.
So it goes 2, 1, 3, 4.
Correct.
I see. so cold.
What's the monkey's name? Indiana. We named the monkey Indiana.
Did they ever say the monkey's name?
No. I have no clue what it is.
Why is the monkey wearing a dress?
Why not?
And the monkey fails everywhere.
Oh, I just had a stroke. I'm sorry.
What?
I had a really big sneeze, and my body shook, and I just assumed that it's a similar set of circumstances.
Yikes. Is this Josh Brolin? What are you talking about? It looks exactly like Josh Brolin.
Would Josh Brolin be Indiana Jones if it was made in like 2012?
I think he's a little too old. If you're casting it in 2012, I would take either Chris Pratt or Bradley Cooper. But at this point, I think they're both a no-go.
Chris Pratt's character in Jurassic World is basically...
Exactly.
That was unfortunate.
That's not what you want. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Not what you see. You think you'd be able to stab a little faster than... or if you're stabbing so slowly that you can move aside that you could stop yourself from stabbing your friend.
You would think. So who plays Indy if we were casting in 2020? Like Timothy Chalamet or some shit? Like
no.
Timothy Chalamet, you were pretty good.
What?
That was a joke.
He's too young. I mean, I think you got to get like early 30s.
Well, it would probably be someone like what's his face from Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Honestly, if you're going like star, like I guess Harrison wasn't big. Like I guess he was.
He was post. Yeah, he was post Star Wars.
I would say Bale.
He's too old.
I would probably say Bale would.
I would say Chris Pratt again because
Caleb Landry Jones.
I would rather take Bradley Cooper over Chris Pratt.
No,
I would rather see Chris Pratt as Nathan Drake.
That actor with the big sword. Fun fact: actually, George Lucas.
Stop saying that. Yeah.
You know the story behind that?
He did it.
He was really, really sick, and he was supposed to. They were supposed to be a big fight scene.
He had really bad diarrhea. Yeah.
Yeah. He just pulled out the gun and was like. I can't picture Christian Bale as Indiana Jones. That's weird. That's interesting that you said that, Cody.
I literally think he can play anything.
Well, that's fair.
That's the only reason I put that as the.
I just feel like there's not many like movie stars like
I didn't
Harrison
think he could
Ford
play
nowadays.
Batman.
That's fair.
Bale
I
is
didn't think that he
arguably
could
the
pull
best
off
actor.
John Connor. That one? No?
Did he pull John
That
Connor?
was a joke. Because that movie's bad.
You know
Also,
what?
him playing
Honestly,
Ford v Ferrari.
could you see like I know like we say that like he's not a very good actor, but like Jai Courtney kind of has like the build and the look to be Indiana Jones.
I would rather die than see Jai
I didn't say he has the acting ability, but like he's kind of got it.
I'm with Maggie. I'd rather be hit by. I'd rather die like Slipknot in the Suicide Squad than have that happen.
I like him in Suicide Squad, but
There was something else that we just watched that he was in, and he was like a main character, and I was like, why do people keep thinking that he's gonna be a thing?
Alita Battle Angel.
No.
I think
Agreed.
honestly,
No,
I think
it
they
was
don't
an
think he's going to be a thing. I think that he's cheap. I think he has like the lowest.
We'll work for
sign
food
bar.
or like we'll work for very little.
He has like the lowest sign thing like ever.
What?
A Good Day to Die Hard.
No. Oh, it was Divergent. Oh, it
Yeah,
was not
he's
Jack.
What about Taylor Kitsch?
Taylor Kitsch?
Taylor
Maybe in,
Kitsch is good when you give
maybe
him
in 2007.
when he has a good
2020.
director.
I
We
just
can
don't
keep
think that
trying
there's
to-
many like there's not many like scruffy adventure type actors in
It's probably
2020.
Gosling.
Who?
Gosling, yeah, that's a good shout.
I would
Oh.
see Gosling in the role.
I think he's a little bit too pretty boy. Like I don't
I
think,
think he's
Harrison-
too much of a pretty boy, but so is Fordbeck. Like
I think Gosling's that's a good call.
I think that's
like
the
it.
closest we would get. Yeah.
Maggie
yeah,
thinks
Gosling
he's
would be on.
I've never
Is
seen
what?
Gosling be like a real action hero.
What about his fantastic action role in Blade Runner 2049?
I was gonna say he's very
Well,
good.
they're always like quiet, like reserved. I don't know. I just feel like
They're all the drives of the world and not the Indiana Joneses of the world.
I think he shows like he can be that star, but also have the humor delivery, like in The Nice Guys. I think I could think he could pull it off. The only reason I thought of it is because he's staring me in the face, or staring in Emma Stone's face
right there.
Oh, maybe not. Then maybe I'm just crazy.
What about Casey Affleck?
he's canceled. People don't cast him. It's true.
Yeah, I don't think he's working right now, is he?
I don't know. Has he been in a
What
movie
about
since
Morgan
Manchester
Freeman?
by the Sea?
Morgan Freeman. Is that what you said? As Indiana Jones?
Yeah, if they pulled out Harrison in the wheelchair to do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they could do it. They could do Morgan.
What actually would be bad would be John Boyega.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Who?
John Boyega. He's got the charm.
Yeah.
He was good in Pacific Rim. The movie's crap, but he was good in it.
Pacific Rim's not that bad.
The second one.
Uprising.
Oh, the second one's bad. The second one's bad.
He's only in the second.
What about Mel Gibson?
This guy.
Is
looks
he
Let's get
officially
Mel-
uncancelled?
I don't know.
I think
That's
so.
what-
He's
uncancelled?
directing and stuff, yeah. He's been in movies.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Apparently, there's a new.
Could we do
Lethal
Andrew
Weapon in
Garfield?
the
Could
works.
Andrew Garfield be Indiana Jones?
I don't think Andrew Garfield's ever going to do a big budget franchise movie ever again.
No,
T-
he would
TV.
rather.
What about Carl Urban?
Honestly, I could see it.
Stallone.
The Carl Urban,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a joke or not, because I could see it.
No, I can see it. Ooh, or you could get someone like
Is
you-
Shia gonna be in the new one?
I don't know. What about like Henry Golding?
Henry Golding would be good.
What about if we did a hologram of Marlon Brando?
How about the
Don't
same technology that brought Tarkin back? We'll just put Tarkin in the room.
Let's just have Tarkin be Indiana Jones.
What if we just did Indiana Jones as a deep fake? Oh my god, it's a deep fake.
No.
It's just somebody has a Harrison Ford impression.
Who are we, Collider now?
You said it, not me.
If you give Tom Holland like 10 years, he could be Indiana Jones.
Is he gonna get taller?
Fair.
He could.
He's not that short.
He's
like
pretty
5'8".
short.
He's like the size of Tom Cruise.
For an actor, that's pretty. Yeah, that's true.
I want Paul Bettany to be Indiana Jones.
Tom Holland is 5'8". Tom Cruise is also. Tom Cruise is
How about
5'7".
Donald Gleason?
Don't no.
The
How about
Rock.
Donald Gleason? Same?
Donald Gleason?
No. Is Donald okay or Dommel? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're both the same.
As an air.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He'll air and we'll get yelled at.
Oh, is that like a thing that I don't know about? I see.
You
What
don't
about
know
Joe
about it?
Levitt?
No.
We can stop trying to make him happen. No, I'm just kidding. I don't dislike
No
him.
one's happened for years.
That's true.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They were
Oh.
stop
I
trying
feel
to
like he
make him
kind
a
of stopped
thing.
happening after like Dark Knight Rises. Maybe Snowden, I guess.
He's gonna be. They're gonna be a knight. Everybody was so excited when they saw him discover it, and nothing happened.
Alec Baldwin as Indiana Jones.
Doing a
Seth
Trump impression.
MacFarlane as Indiana Jones.
Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go get this treasure that I so
gonna be real fucking great.
great.
It's not the years,
you-
honey. It's the mileage.
Can you please do the line like, "Let me go get this treasure that I so desperately crave"?
Now just watch. Here I go. Going get this treasure that I so desperately crave.
So what's happening right now?
So basically, what happened is this is the like necklace thing that they got from Marion's bar.
Right.
That her dad entrusted to her. It is the
They're
headpiece.
trying to read it to figure out where the Well of Souls is, where they can get the headpiece of Ra or whatever.
Yep. This is the headpiece of Ra. In the Well of Souls is where the Ark of the Covenant is. So this headpiece tells you where in the room to like place the staff, and it'll point you to the Well of Souls, if that makes sense.
And the Well of Souls, the Ark of the Covenant is?
Yes. So this headpiece is like what tells them, it leads them to the Ark. But the Nazis have a replica of the headpiece that they made from the dude's burned hand when he tried to grab it, right? But it doesn't have, it's only one side. It doesn't have the back side, which tells them to like move it, change it a little bit.
The monkey has died.
Yeah. Poor George Lucas. That was the trilogy. I needed to hit all three, and then we're good.
He sure plays a lot of roles in this one.
You know, he's a very versatile actor. He's just never given the chance.
Right.
Maggie, when did the Nazis become like powerful?
The year this movie.
1930.
This is 1936. This movie takes place in 1936. When did the Nazis become a
Hitler
thing?
came into power in 1938. They
Were there
invaded
Nazis?
England in 1939.
Were there Nazis?
I was off. I
like-
was about to say 1937. So
Were there Nazis in power before Hitler, though?
No.
So then this movie
Maybe,
is not
I don't know,
historically
but they
accurate.
didn't
well,
really
there
have-
may have been under the belly, but they were like, this is how I'll get Germany into a better spot. Like this is his whole.
Are they talking about Hitler? Like, have they talked about Hitler in this movie, or have they talked?
They said
Oh, no.
Führer.
Like 7 times.
So,
Yeah,
like,
this
but
is
who was
Führer.
the Führer in 1936?
This is 1939.
No, this is 1936.
Pretty sure this is 1939.
I will bet you $300 right now that this movie takes place in
Whoa!
1930.
I was very off. That's okay.
What was
He
it?
became Führer in 1934.
34. Okay, so then it makes sense. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you look up this that it's 36 just for?
1939, so I had that correct.
I'm gonna look up just so that I feel vindicated.
He kept himself under control till 39, and then went crazy.
Raiders takes place in 1936.
There you go. I'm just 2 more.
2 points for the Shelob.
3 for the goat. Maggie, did you like those goat videos I sent yesterday or a couple days ago? Those were really funny.
I do not remember seeing any goat
On
videos.
Snapchat, our cousin's got a baby goat, and I was sending pictures of it hopping around on its logs, and I was like, I didn't know Maggie had cousins in this area
Yes, I do remember.
because it's a goat.
You get it? Because you're the goat.
We can explain it
Is
one
that
more
what
time
the
if you need
G-
to.
Is that what the G on your T-shirt says too? Is that the
It means
goat?
goat.
Does that mean goat?
I mean, no.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that's pretty sweet that you got your own merch out there. Why don't we have a goat?
tpublic.com/multiplex
Why don't we have a goat
entertainment.
shirt on TeePublic? We need to get Koho
Talk
on
to
there.
Mr. Emo. That picture that Michael commented, literally,
Oh, yeah.
was like fucking gold.
We at the end of the year, we may not win
The
Game of
quotes one, that
Factions
one?
because who knows? But
We might. What?
we will win funniest faction member by far with Michael Campbell.
Cultural appropriation.
You mean this entire series? Yes.
Stop.
It's true.
She ain't wrong. No lies detected.
Wix.
Convenient.
What?
Convenient that he happens to walk into that tent where she is.
I feel like convenience is like
It's her.
Why can't he kiss her?
they're in
They're
love.
both attractive people in the primes of their life.
It's a celebration of love. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
Sounds Gucci, my dude. Oh shit!
Oh.
That camel in the background, actually digitally added later by George Lucas.
Jesus Christ!
You're the worst, Robert.
You sound like my mom.
This is the best shot in the movie. It's just gorgeous. Sorry.
You think that was real lightning?
Yeah.
Pretty real.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, nah.
As good as like the face melting scene is at the end of this movie, it looks terrible. Like genuinely terrible.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll have to wait and see.
Wait, somebody's face gets melted at the end of this? What? Spoiler.
What?
I feel like Hugo Weaving could play Belloc. The
I can see it.
the French archaeologist. Why does the floor move?
Oh, look, remember earlier when Indy said that he was afraid of snakes?
Yeah. It's coming back.
It's coming back.
Do you think that, genuine question, like they had to use some real snakes, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think all of those are real, but like
They're probably just a bunch of gardener snakes. They're not very big.
what are your top 5 favorite snakes?
Zero.
I
None. I
don't
have zero.
Like, excuse me, you don't have a top 5 ranked list of snakes? The fuck are you talking about?
Number 1, the basilisk.
Good answer, good answer, good answer.
I don't know. After that.
I bet you there's like a Screen Rant article of like top 10 snakes in movies.
I
Oh, 100%.
believe this.
Snakes on a plane has to be number one.
I'm Googling it. Vulture,
Screen-
the 14 best snake movie moments ever.
Okay, so I incorrectly guessed the outlet, but I knew it existed.
Lit Reactor, 10 of the most memorable snakes in cinema. Top 10 deadliest movie reptiles has Screen Rant.
Close.
The yellow spotted lizards from Holes better be on that damn list, or I'm not a fan.
So number 14 is The Jungle Book. The Snake Woman. Piracanoda. Is it Piranaconda? That's what it is. Piranaconda. Woo! Hard Target. Clash of the Titans. 1981's Venom. Conan the Barbarian.
Venom.
Some
Not that
73 movie called
That doesn't exist.
Oh,
I'm watching that later tonight.
Number 6 is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Sure. Only 6. That's disappointing.
Number 5 is Snakes on a Plane. Number 4 is Kill
Wow.
Bill Volume 2.
That makes sense.
Oh, the one that bites her on the eye. Oh shit.
Number
yeah.
3 is King Kong, the original. Number 2 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. And number 1 is Anaconda.
That makes sense.
What a
that
list.
was a snake list or a reptile list?
That was the snake list.
I see.
I need to know these reptiles and see if Holes made the list.
No, Velocipaster is number 1 for sure.
Wait, which one did you want? 10 of the most memorable fictional snakes or the movie reptiles?
Movie reptile.
Movie reptiles.
All right, this is from Screen Rant.
The scene.
Number 10, 2007, Rogue.
Look at that snake. He's not
Screen
here to
Rant,
fuck.
It's a crocodile movie. Number 9, Black Water. Another crocodile. Anaconda. Number 7, the dopest movie of 2019, Crawl.
It's a lot of crocodiles.
That movie's
Well, that's
fucking
alligators,
awesome.
technically.
Yeah, they're alligators.
Can somebody give me a
number
time code? My thing paused.
Yes, we are at 104.25.
Can you tell me when you're at 105?
Yes.
Maybe.
What do you think that liquor is? What kind of liquor do people drink in the 30s in Egypt? I think it's rum.
Can't hear you, Robert.
Can you hear me?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 105.
Thank you.
You just got very quiet for a second, Robert.
No, you're good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, continue with the reptiles.
Another crocodile pick, Lake Placid.
That's fair.
Number 5, Komodo. It's about a giant Komodo dragon.
Also fair.
1980s Alligator.
No, it sounds fake.
Number 3, The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. Is it
The
talking
Lost
about
World.
the dinosaurs in that movie?
Dinosaurs definitely count as reptiles, and while the first movie is an adventure film, The Lost World really ramps up the dino carnage.
I see.
Number 2, Primeval. Killer crocodiles once again. And number 1 is Godzilla.
Sorry, no one's ever seen Holes. Then that's wrong. Screen Rant's wrong. Well, ain't the Girl Scout selling? We should do Holes for a watch along. I'm just saying.
It is on Disney Plus.
I haven't seen Holes since I was in high school, probably.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
so like 2 years ago, right, Maggie?
Yikes.
Many years ago now.
So I'll go back to this question. What kind of liquor do you think they drink in the 30s in Egypt?
Well, it's white, so probably vodka.
There's no way that vodka's made its way out of Russia by the 30s.
That is
Right back.
Russia wasn't even invented until the Cold War.
Shut up.
I got Tim with that one.
That was a good one.
It's probably vodka. It's vodka or tequila. Or
I
what
would be
other-
far
what
more
rum?
surprised with. I'd be far more surprised with tequila than vodka.
Right, vodka makes.
I feel like vodka or tequila wouldn't have made its way from Mexico all the way to Egypt. Or I guess the Germans actually probably brought it. Maybe it's just beer.
They were drinking Johnny Walker Black in Nepal.
It was not Johnny Walker Black.
That's literally what it was.
Was it actually that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was also a bottle of Jack Daniels on the bar. With the bottle that they knocked over and lit on the bar was a bottle of Jack Daniels. It didn't
Vodka
show
was-
the label, but I know the back of that bottle.
Sure. This says vodka was first produced by monks at the monastery in the Kremlin in the late 15th century.
Yeah, vodka's been around forever.
Old potato water has been around for a hot minute.
Old potato water.
So shiny. What is in the Ark of the Covenant?
The original 10 Commandments that, like, the
That's what I
original stone
thought.
tablets
That's
that
what I
Moses
thought.
brought down from the mountain and said, God wrote these on the stone.
Oh, bye, Cody.
Cody's left.
Should be back. He was having internet issues earlier. He's back.
My apologies.
The prodigal son returns. Who is the prodigal son of Multiplex? Is it Cain?
Well, he hasn't returned, so that's impossible.
He's on his way.
Well, he can't be the prodigal son until he returns.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Rip.
The same thing happened to me and Maggie on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
Who threw Maggie down into the pit?
Nazis and everything.
Oh, I see. It was actually Nazis.
They really take the reenactments seriously at Universal Studios. Is this the Universal Studios?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. This is Kermit the Frog's old office. I think I'm going to call it the Kermit the Frog's old office room.
Who is that tour guide? Is it Alan Arkin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this everybody?
I mean, it'd be worse if it was spiders in it.
It's true. Snakes are not a peachy answer either.
It kind of depends, I think.
Snakes are
These
friends.
snakes are clearly protected. But if it's like a little pet snake that you know is not going to hurt you, and you can boop him, and then he'll smell.
I don't want to boop anything.
What if it's a little pet spider that you can boop?
No, spiders are not boopable. Spiders are not boopable. Oh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, there was a python, Tim.
Just
Just take your other shoe off.
I only accept my death by snakes at this point.
dope.
They're only going to bite you if you bother them.
Well, there's no way not to bother them in that situation. That's what I look like in the morning.
It's true. Can you confirm? It's a lot of dead bodies. Another snake.
That will haunt my dreams forever.
How many people really die looking for the Ark? Or are those like the people
think-
buried with it?
I think those were the people buried with it. Where's John Reese Davies?
They took him.
Where?
Well,
That guy? Actually modeled after George Lucas.
this is back in Lucas's prime.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He's just sitting on the airstrip waiting for a fight, waiting for finally the opportunity where it could rip off his shirt and get down to business. He's been waiting
So
for
they're
it for
definitely
years.
filming by like real propellers, like flying.
He's lived in that shack for 14 years, just waiting for the opportunity. This goes back to my thing about Indiana Jones. Like, he's always getting beat up. Like, he's not very good at his job.
His job isn't to fight people.
Yoinks.
Yeah, problem.
That is going to be a little issue.
Arian's really out here doing the most.
Oh man. This guy still wants to fight for something. He knows where you are.
You just have a complaint about everything that happens in this movie, don't
I
you?
really do. Like, this man needs to give up.
I mean, he's winning right now. Like,
Yeah, but does he not see the explosion that is imminent?
I've never been in a real fist fight, but I can't imagine how many punches to the face he can actually take.
Ugh, that's violent.
Can't imagine how many propeller blades to the face you could take either.
Ah yes, let's fire a gun. Boom, there's an explosion.
Shoot the lock until it unopens.
Kaboomzel.
There he is.
That's how people should greet each other in 2020. I am so pleased you are not dead.
See, the music gets you pumped, doesn't it, Maggie?
And the horse.
The horse. What's your flashlight?
I didn't know that. Bye, boys.
Timothy Chalamet could never jump off that horse like that.
Probably not. Not envision him doing so. Let's be honest though, they're probably not going to remake this movie within our lifetime, if ever.
That's probably likely.
Well, our lifetime, yes. I think it will.
Think so?
I mean, they're not going to remake
Like a
Raiders of the
straight
Lost Ark,
remake?
though. Like, they'll make an Indy 5, but, like, they're not going to make a Raiders of the Lost Ark.
In our lifetime, do you realize how much longer that is? It will be remade.
5 to 10 years max, Tim.
It will happen.
I don't know.
What will happen?
That this movie will be remade in our lifetime.
No.
Remake,
Yeah, it will.
straight remake.
It will.
No,
Not a
rebooted, yes. Raiders again, no, never.
No.
I think it will.
They have a whole new story they could go off of. They're already playing Raiders. They're already playing Indy 5, so there's no way they're going to do a remake.
I'm not saying that it's
of
going to happen in the next like 5 or 10 years, but I'm saying that I'm planning on being alive for another 50, 60 years, and if in 2085 they
But
could
they're-
remake the Lost Ark.
Right. But there's classic movies that are older than that time frame right now and still have not been remade. So I don't think Raiders is on that list.
But I just think it's popular enough that it could.
Plus, with Disney owning it, I don't think they do a reboot of it. I don't think they do a remake.
Again, you're saying ever in the sense that like you think this is gonna like happen in the next 20 or 30 years, but it will happen one day.
Before or after Steven is dead.
After.
I think it's weird if they do like a remake of these, because then they would have to do the remake of all three, and I don't think they'd do it.
No, because it probably would be terrible and no one would like
Will
it.
they ever remake Star Wars?
I think Star Wars is different.
How?
Because Star Wars, you could go to episodes 10, 11, 12 and do completely new characters and stories, whereas Indiana Jones is a very specific character in a specific time, and you will eventually run out of time. They've already written themselves in a corner by doing the fourth one without the Nazis and stuff. So the fifth one is going to be like they've already written themselves in a way where you can't do it unless you recast and do a different story. But even then, like, that's my point, is that like Star Wars can go on forever and ever. You could get to episode 40 and it could be something that completely different.
Is the same way.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
I think they would just go to a different thing and different timeline and not tell the story of Raiders anymore.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah,
I'm saying strict remake.
Street remake of Raiders, I don't think they'll ever touch it.
Like the
Because I don't think Disney will allow it to be touched. I don't think they. It's like Back to the Future. It won't. The makers of Back to the Future have come out and said it will never be rebooted or remade.
There will be a time when stuff like The Godfather gets remade, and I don't
Do
want
you
to.
think so?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Don't
man.
think so.
I think it will.
I think
If it's not
hell-
attempted yet, I don't think so.
Well,
I
but
was
I mean,
then
they make it desperate. They make it
Ben
desperate.
Hur. Ben-Hur came out in the 50s, and they remade it in 2016.
Yeah,
was the
that
50s version also a remake though? I thought the 50s version was like a remake of something that happened in the 30s.
Exactly. There you go. You prove my point even more. That
No,
like,
I feel like there's certain
That has a
things that
precedence
are like
of remake.
so culturally significant and like that you could never do a straight remake of them.
I'm just saying Hollywood will always do something if they can get a buck, and if they think they can get a buck by remaking The Godfather with having Al Pacino's great grandson play Michael Corleone again, they'll fucking do it. Like they will, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I want it, but they're stupid and they would do something like that.
Those two movies, I think, are no.
And get this too, it would be like a 2.5 hour movie, and it would be the stories of 1 and 2 in one movie. They would just butcher it. It would be horrible. But I'm saying it's
Butchered Ben-Hur.
well, yeah, more or less.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy to think about some of those.
Yeah, but I feel like they could remake Singing in the Rain at any point, and it would do well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's my point. It's just that I don't think.
Can we not? And be
If
all
you
right
ask-
with it? Thank you.
Ask the question in our lifetime. I think there's no way to tell what movies are going to be like in 50 years.
But I mean,
And-
we have a take of it like 52. Like 52 and Singing in the Rain, not an attempt has been made yet. So our lifetime would be over. If somebody made this bet back there and be like, oh, it'll be remade, we would have lost that bet. Singing in the Rain has never been touched.
But at the time, remakes weren't a huge thing. And if they were remakes,
Yeah, there's no
they
way
were-
that people in 1970 thought that cinema would be the way it is now in 2020.
Well, that's very true. Look at Martin Scorsese. But he's a living version of that. But literally, the only movies that were getting remade in the 50s, like Ben-Hur, were movies that were remaking silent films to, like, be part of, like, the new thing. So I think it'll happen eventually. For every great classic will eventually get a remake because Hollywood can't.
And it also matters what the film rights and all that stuff goes to. So,
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
certain thing.
Maggie, look, it's Kingsley.
What?
That's the actor
Really?
who plays Kingsley Shacklebolt. Yeah. Half-star racing in your rating.
I also think to say that Disney wouldn't let things happen to it is a little cuckoo based on they are remake for money fucking kings. That's their
Own stuff.
It's true.
They also are big on, like, correct, like, PR and everything like that. Like, I think trying to do, like, an indie, like, reboot of Raiders, like, remake of Raiders would be a
Twitter would go up in
negative
flames.
backlash.
I mean, Twitter won't exist in 10 years, but Twitter would go up in flames.
I think that I don't think I don't know. It's hard to say. I think that it's easier to argue the merits of remaking something like Raiders or The Godfather than it would be to try to, like, remake 2001. You know what I mean? Because, like, 2001 is, like, so, like, weird and crazy, whereas, like,
Sure, it's a little bit more of, like, an artistic vision kind of thing.
yeah, whereas, like, The Godfather and, like, Raiders, while they're, like, perfect, like, they're perfect, but they're very much so Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, here's your story, beginning, middle, end.
Busters of the time.
Yeah, with
yeah.
great acting and great script and great everything, you don't need to touch it. Space Odyssey could deserve a
I'm saying that it's
rebrand.
easier. It would be easier to remake it than it would be to remake something like 2000.
I mean, that's true. Like we were just talking earlier, like, oh, who else could we imagine in the indie role if it was cast in 2020? Like, it would not be hard for studio execs and casting directors to sit down and redo it. I don't think it would be
They're going to
successful.
have to.
I don't think it would be successful, and I think audiences would despise it. But like, I think Tim, I think you're kind of onto something where like it's easier to make something that's a little bit more blockbustery than it is to remake something that like is a little bit more artsy. But also, people hate shot-for-shots remakes. Like,
I've never said shot-for-shot remake.
no, I know. I'm saying that like when remakes are done, like,
you would have to get even close to the same credibility.
Like, I haven't seen Gus Van Sant's Psycho, but like I know that it's terrible because it's the same exact movie just recast and made 30 years later.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, is you're never gonna win. Like if The Godfather was ever remade, you're never gonna beat the performances. Like you're never gonna you might get a performance out of someone who's like decent or good or like you might even get a great performance. Like if they remade The Godfather in 40 years and they cast Christian Vail as Don Corleone, he'd probably give a fucking fantastic performance, but that doesn't mean that
it doesn't mean it'd be better than Brando. Yeah,
I would fucking lose my mind. I'm just gonna be honest.
I just
think the day they remake The Godfather is the day I stop watching.
That's what I'm saying. Like, especially with stuff like The Godfather, like I think that is like just so ingrained in pop culture, and like even if people haven't seen it, they know what it is, and like it's regarded as like the best American movie ever. Like I think there's a certain level that just can't be touched, and I think Godfather is on that level where like people would like be signing petitions to like
things that change cinema versus the things that are like able to do it. Like
even it depends on the type of the change though. Like I could see them remaking Matrix in 2029.
Well, please. I think that movie's overrated as crap.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree that's overrated. But like, I could, if it was like remade to like in 5 years, like even though it changed cinema at the time, like I could see like a very, very, very similar story being told, and like really, really enjoying it because it's a little bit more modern.
Yeah. If they ever do another indie, I'd rather them just do like a... Well, they screwed themselves up with 4. They really did.
Ooh, fuck.
What?
I threw my charger, and it landed on the ground instead of on my bed.
Why does she have to wear a sexy white dress the entirety of this movie?
Now you're just looking for things to pick out.
Well, but it's true.
I don't disagree with that statement. To be fair, she doesn't really wear a lot of like... I know it's like a movie that takes place 20 years later, but like in the 4th one, she's not like a sex object. Not that like she should be in this one, but I'm...
It's because she has an adult child.
That's true.
That is not Kingsley Shackleford.
It 100% is.
I don't.
The actor's name is George Harris. Look it up.
You look it up.
I know that I'm right. I don't have to.
What?
I'm just gonna not believe you. Now look it up.
I'll send you some screenshots in the chat.
Tim, they're traveling by map. Yeah.
What?
Is this
Traveling
the
by
first
map.
series that really did that? Like, I know I'm not like a film historian at all, but like, is this one of the first series that really did the whole travel by map thing?
Well, I think the original Muppet movie did it first.
Oh shit, you're right. You're totally right.
Or at least before this.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Which means it was already a trope. They were making fun of it. Fine.
You didn't believe him?
Oh, I did.
It doesn't look the same because it's 25 years earlier, but it's true.
He's also like a lot skinnier. Or at
Like
least his
in this movie compared to like Harry Potter or what?
Yes.
His hair is pretty different too. I feel like Indiana Jones and Back to the Future are like the MCUs of the people who grew up in the 80s and 90s. If that makes sense.
I mean, and Star Wars.
Yeah. I feel like Star Wars is kind of the Star Wars of people who grew up in the like. I don't know. I feel like every era has had their Star Wars. Like.
And it was Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm saying Star Wars was definitely more popular than both of those things.
Well, that's true, but I would also like. I mean, it's arguable that like the sequel trilogy is like a bigger cultural thing than the MCU. Like, there's an argument to be made there.
The sequel trilogy is bigger than the MCU? Is that what you said?
Like the new Star Wars movies, like if you include Rogue One and Solo.
No. No. Not even close.
I disagree.
I'm not talking about like
disagree.
financial. I'm talking about like cultural
I don't either.
impact. Like, I think
I
there's an
disagree.
argument to be made.
I disagree, and I think financial comes into it. I mean, you look at...
I
I'm
don't
not
think
talking about
financial has to
financial.
come into it.
Yes. Over 23 movies, they've made more money than 5 movies.
That's not what I'm... That's not what I was going
I
to
don't.
say.
I don't even think money has to come into it. I think the overall success of the MCU is far better than the sequel.
I didn't say success though. I said cultural impact. I think Last Jedi, for better or worse, positive or negative, had a lot of cultural impact.
I think you're just...
But the
pulling
MCU
at
didn't.
straws at that point, because you could say negative or...
Everyone argues about the movies on Twitter.
Yeah,
End of conversation.
like literally, like they are like, yeah, that's true what you said, and the same goes for Rise of Skywalker, but the same thing goes for Endgame. It was just all positive. It was just like everything was positive, so it doesn't seem like it has the same, but it definitely does. And I think, yeah, I would say that if you, yeah, I would say that if Rise of
Disney
Skywalker
ruined Star Wars is the main takeaway from the sequel that most people on Twitter, or that they love what they did. It's just that back and forth.
Is there a particular reason they're in this desert? Do we know?
What?
Is there a particular reason they're in this specific place to open it?
I don't know. I don't know. There's gotta be a reason.
No, like I feel like it's very much in the middle of nowhere, unless they did it on purpose to be in the middle of nowhere.
Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Say something.
Like, honestly, this scene scared me more than any scene in Temple of Doom.
I don't know, man. That heart scene in Temple, to be honest. It's scary.
The only scary thing that happens at the end of Last Crusade is there's some, like, old man that's like, yeah, choose wisely. But, like,
Well, I mean, Donovan like takes the cup and like ages 5,000 years in like a second. I mean, that's not like scary, but like I could see that's being scary for like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
God says not to do.
Pretty much.
Way. Where are their ghosts?
And then they turn to demons.
Which is really interesting.
I wonder if Indy and Marion are going to make it out of this.
I don't know, man. It's very bad. I remember the first time I saw this being like, excuse me, what just happened?
You know what? I remember seeing this for the first time and being like, wow, these effects are terrible.
That's pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
His head just exploded.
They would be dead.
God is saving them.
Yeah,
For now.
because they're not looking.
Got it.
Come on. Open your
The
fucking
effects are still pretty good for the time.
I was about to say, I was like that.
They were definitely still very scary looking. I can see how that would scare a child very much. So.
Yeah.
Is this the OG Skybeam?
It is the OG Skybeam.
Does that? It's Sky. Yeah. Maybe Screen Rant has a list of top 10 Skybeams.
I'm on it.
I guarantee
Stab
that.
her in the heart. Grab the katana and stab her in the heart.
Her heart's out. We can end this.
This katana, I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
You forgot that she's got my back.
You're right, I did.
I've seen that movie too many times to dig at it. I like what you're selling, lady. There's just one problem.
Every movie with a giant skybeam.
Is this Screen Rant?
No, I didn't see a
Oh.
top skybeam, so just... There's only 55 on here. The Amazing Spider-Man, Atlantis, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Big Hero 6, The First Avenger.
Oh, slow down, slow down. A lot of these don't have sky beams.
Well, how do you
Amazing
define?
I don't know. Like, I don't think Age of Ultron counts as a sky beam.
Age of Ultron 100% is a Skybeam.
It doesn't
What?
have a beam.
Isn't
They
it?
float up in Sokovia, but there's no beam.
They say Skybeam. It's
I
got
don't
the
think Amazing Spider-Man is a little bit more questionable.
It has the essence of a Skybeam because
Amazing Spider-Man definitely has a skybeam.
With like the device thing, yeah, I guess. What was the other one? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I already backed out of it.
Oh,
Atlantis definitely has a Skybeam.
Atlantis did definitely Skybeam in Atlantis for sure.
First Avenger has a Skybeam.
That's what it said.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Though it opens the portal.
It's an Infinity War. Would that just be like all the things coming down? It's not really
I don't
Sky.
think Infinity War is Skybeam. I wouldn't.
Well, like technically, like the teleportation of like Thor and all of that kinds of
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's true.
guess.
So what is this, an Area 51, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he go there in the fourth one?
It's the opening scene of the last one, yeah.
Do 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 do. Second unit director Michael Moore. I wonder if it's the same guy. Okay.
30 to director
so-
George Lucas.
Cody, your list sucks. What's happening tomorrow?
Top 100, we're walking through 90 through 81. Last episode I thought was going to be my last, but apparently I'm going to continue on. Jurassic Park is 92. Jurassic Park is 92. That's all I will say.
Fair. And only one person had it. Am I correct?
And it will not make the top 100 overall list. No.
That's a fucking yikes.
That's the yikes. Okay. Well, anyways, so that's tomorrow. Next week we'll be back with another watch along. Who knows what? Who knows if I'll still be employed here? We don't know. The world is a scary place. We'll see. I should hopefully be here.
Are we letting you go?
Maybe Koho and Boatman will show up next week if I play some Aladdin Sky Star Kid, whatever the fuck musical
Make
they
sure you
watch.
watch a movie next week that's terrible that they like, because I probably won't be here next week.
There you go. Fair enough. All right. So we will see you guys very soon with another episode. Peace out. Who let the dogs out?
Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer, Captain.
Yeah.